a shot to do what?
Yeah, so I'm never mixing vodka and prune juice again. On this episode, we are talking the good, the bad, the fugly from this past week in sports. The Giants, Bert's Giants, made a massive trade, trading away Dexter Lawrence away to the Cincinnati Bengals. So we'll get into that a little bit. And Russini's revenge, Dianna Russini's revenge. Everybody laughed at her.
Vindication more than anything else.
There's nothing better in this world than Vindication, where all you silly Eagles fans try to discredit her for her AJ Brown to the Patriots stories. And then all of a sudden, when Adam Schefter does it, you guys are starting to cope and panic and say, oh, well, it's like you try to talk to a girl at a bar for like an hour and then she denies you and you're like, man, forget you. Like, I don't know, you're ugly anyway. That's what the Eagles fans are doing to this AJ Brown story. And it is hilarious. So we'll get into all that and more next.
Sports.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Stuff About Sports, presented by the Give Us a Shot Network, powered by Fast Break Coffee, and sponsored, as always, Bert, by the haters. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to all the first-timers, last-timers, long-timers. Please like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. Do any of those things, one of those things. If you don't do any of that, I am inclined to believe you are a hater and that you work for
liberal media.
All right. Bert, it is National Tea Day. Are you a tea guy? Are you a tea drinker?
Every now and then, I'll mess with some tea. If I'm not feeling right, especially if it's like later in the afternoon, I want something like decaf tea or not as caffeinated as coffee for sure.
Yeah. So I was introduced to something that is on the Dunkin' Donuts menu, the vanilla chai, which is a tea.
Oh yeah.
And Bud, let me tell you, if vanilla chai had a vagina, I mean, I might leave my wife for it. I mean, it was that good. I was like, holy shit, that might be. And I'm going to have to do like, hey, put it in like a manly cup, because I don't want anybody to know I'm drinking it, because I don't know where it falls. No. I've never heard of it.
No, it's good. It's been around a while. It's okay. It's like a nice spicy, like not spicy, but like there's like a vanilla
it's like vanilla, cinnamon, and then there's I don't know what else is in it that gives it that bite, but yeah, it's definitely.
I think it is just the I don't know.
Really? I don't know.
I have no idea.
Listen, you know what? We'll look it up. Yeah, we'll figure. That's why we got a research department. We'll hit up the trolls that live in Mike Powers' basement. The little what was that show with the little trolls that lived in the when we were kids? It was an old show. They had a whole society. Fraggle Rock. They were like little Fraggle Rock, like little Fraggle Rock trolls that live in Mike's basement.
Muppets, love it, yeah.
Yeah, Jim Henson, yeah, shout out to you. All right, Bert, let's talk about the good, the bad, the fugly this week in sports. Where do you want to begin?
I mean, my entire good, bad, fugly happens to be everything that happened this past weekend in the NHL playoffs, because why not, right?
Yeah.
The good for me, we have a playoff win in Buffalo, baby. They're up 1-0, and it's good to see that region, that town come alive. And listen, if my New York Rangers aren't in it, I'm going to root for another New York team, and it happens to be the Buffalo Sabres. So they got it done. It's great to see. There's so much life, man. It's just it's so energizing when you see a team that has worked so hard to get there just like continue to build off their success. And honestly, I'm pulling for them. So I mean, that's my good for the week. They got the win. Look, first time in the playoffs, and I think what was like 16 years or something, and then they got the win in game 1. So hell yeah, they're getting my good.
Yeah, my good's going to go to the Atlanta Hawks in the NBA playoffs. They were down to the New York Knicks, and they had a monster fourth quarter 14-point comeback. Game 2, playing in Madison Square Garden, as you know, Bert. Me and you have been in that building. You've been in that building way more than I have.
Yeah.
But it's probably, when you think of home court, home field, home whatever advantage, MSG has it. Like, it's very daunting to be in there.
Oh yeah,
And
nothing
so
beats, especially a playoff game in the Garden. Oh my
yeah,
God, like
yeah.
the energy, the noise, it's just insanity.
So winning a 1 point game in the playoffs at MSG is the good. Like, I mean, come on. And it definitely proves that the Atlanta Hawks can handle the league's most hostile environment. So they definitely prove they aren't intimidated at the Garden. They're not intimidated by the New York Knicks, and stealing a home court kind of changes the math of the whole series. So it'll be interesting to see where that goes from there. What do you got for your bad?
Penguins dropping 2 at home to the Flyers. And what did I say last week? They've got grit. They have gritty. And I mean, if anybody was going to be a sort of Cinderella story, it was definitely likely to be the Flyers. And
Yes.
man, to steal 2 from Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh is absolutely huge as they set to go back. Now I can't count the Penguins down and out, but like, they haven't been producing a lot of offense. Especially in game 2. It's just when their aging core is looking like an aging core with Sid and Malkin, and they're not getting the job done. I mean, there's something about a rough and just grinded out Flyers team that I think can take this series from Pittsburgh. So, the bad has to go to them and how they're feeling going back into Philly. Like I said, not completely down and out. You have to win 4, Germ. And the
Yeah.
third and the fourth one, certainly the hardest ones to win. But no, I mean, look, props to the Flyers, but the bad has to go to the Penguins. You have to split in an opening series. Like if you're going to lose one, split, go into Philly and go from there.
I'm sad to report this, but my bad is going to my Philadelphia 76ers. I'm not sure how a playoff series or your postseason as a whole can be on life support after just one game 1 loss, but losing by 32 points to the Celtics the other night on Sunday is bad. Like, and it makes it even worse when you realize that the Sixers haven't won a playoff series against Boston in 44 years. They're 15-6. The Celtics are 15-6 all time in playoff series against the Sixers. That's a lot of games. The Sixers are a poorly run joke of an organization. And the owner, who is a full-time Epstein Island visitor and a part-time owner of the team, and cares more about the Washington racial slurs than the Philadelphia 76ers, sits courtside looking totally disinterested. And that's the difference. Like, the Celtics are a well-run organization with consistently good coaching and strong culture that's built on winning. So those are just harsh truths. Those are truths that once you accept them, like, you won't feel as bad, but it's hard. Like, they're putting up a fight right now, but they were up almost 12 points, and that lead just dwindled down to 3 because in a span of 5 minutes, because they're just, the way they play is a direct reflection of the coach, and it's really bad for me. So that's my bad this week.
It's got to be too, right? I mean,
Mhm.
it's good for you to admit this and say it. I think
Yeah.
it's very therapeutic and cathartic, to say
Well,
the
with Joel
least.
Embiid's not there, like, it's always something with the Sixers, right? Like, you're dealing
Yeah.
with Joel Embiid. He has appendicitis. He's probably not going to play this series, and if he does, all he's going to do is injure himself even more. But it's like, I can't even get excited for him to come and play because, I guess you could hang your hat on, if he is playing, we actually have a puncher's chance. But then it's like, well, is he going to miss? When's he going to miss the next game or the next several games? Like, when's the other shoe going to drop with him? And I can't. It's starting to get to a point where I can't do it anymore with the Sixers. Like, I have to.
Yeah.
I for real.
You have to
Like,
keep
it's
them
just,
at an arm's length.
yeah, it's like, I'm not gonna, like, there's no way I'm gonna get hype about this season. Like, I'm just like, all right, man, like, we've seen this movie before, and I'm tired of going through those emotional roller coasters with a team because, until the GM is gone, until Daryl Morey's gone, until Nick Nurse is gone, and Joel Embiid is gone, we're just gonna do the same version of the same thing we've been doing for the last decade and a half. So, yeah, it's tough.
All right, you ready for the
Fugly.
fugly?
Mm-hmm.
All right, I was trying to find it really quick.
Oh, you're good. I can do
I
mine.
meant to do this. No. I mean, I was trying
Yeah.
to find the video I'm referencing right now, and
Yeah.
here's the thing. I don't know if it's real anymore because I thought it came out from the Ottawa Senators' social media directly, and this came out probably Thursday or Friday of last week, or whenever right before their first game was, and it was the most cringiest thing I've ever seen in my life. And look, the Senators going up against Carolina, it's going to be a tough battle, and it's proven to be so. Especially, I don't know if you caught any of the game last night.
I did watch the whole thing.
Fucking insane finish.
Yeah,
insane. I fell asleep after what I thought was the overtime winner by Carolina.
Yeah,
and then come to find out that it wasn't the overtime winner because it was called offsides, and then there was an overtime penalty shot that was missed, and then finally, who was it, Martinook, that ended up finishing it in double overtime too. But my point is, the Ottawa Senators, I think their social media team put out this cringy hype video of somebody, or maybe it's just a fan group that did it, and their senator and the social team retweeted it or whatever, or reposted it. But it was like this cringy rap to the tune of what is it, like Without Me from Eminem, and it was just like awful that and if it was true, I thought, if this is something their social team created, jail. All of them should go to jail. Because look, not for nothing. Like even if I'm the Avalanche, if I'm sitting in the number one spot in the league, like knowing that you're the heavy favorite, I'm never putting out a hype video of any type of rap parody talking shit or even just trying to pump up. Now, what I will accept is an acceptable montage of all the great moments throughout the regular season to maybe like Peter Gabriel's We Can Be Heroes or something like that.
Right.
That I think is acceptable. But some sort of parody rap, no. Just disgusting. So listen, I saw that. And listen, just because there's association, they're going to get my Fugly. They're also getting my Fugly because like game one was like an absolute beatdown. Yeah. And then yesterday they crawled back into it. They tried to make a game of it and didn't. So now they're down 2 going back into Ottawa, which they could help even out. But I honestly just think Carolina, they have such a great core of like that. They've been there before. Rod knows what it takes to get it done. They're trying to get this huge shadow away from them of only making it to the Eastern Conference Finals and then out. So, they're focused on, and especially with the Panthers not in it this year too, which has been like, one of their biggest sticking points over the past couple of years. Like I am rooting for Carolina. Yeah. But needless to say, sorry, getting back to the ugly, that was just too cringy for me to not be my Fugly this week of the Ottawa Senators and that weird hype video.
I thought the hockey gods were totally against Carolina after that seemingly game winner. It was called all sides, which was I don't know if you've watched the replay. I mean, they could have swallowed the whistle there. I mean, it was very. I shouldn't even say that because I'm totally with ABS.
This is the thing. Like, it's so funny, Jeremy, is like I have a friend who's like that, who's like he can't stand the fact that that's a reviewable call.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but why? He's like, because it doesn't have any impact on the play. I'm like, well, it does if it's offsides. It would have been blown dead. But he goes, but it's such a minuscule margin in order for you to look at it. He goes, that's what I don't like about it. There's got to be some grace with it. I'm like, to me, and to your point about ABS, like, look, fair is fair, man. If it was across the line and I'm on the other team, I would want to get that call right too.
100%.
So I get how frustrating it is. And I do think like there's a lot of people that think like, oh, this shouldn't have any impact on if they didn't call it on the ice. But I'm like, look, get it right. I'd rather you get it right. So there's no talk back. There's no clap back of like, that should have been this or that should have been that. So
that being said, they better keep that same energy if something goes against Carolina. It's funny,
yeah.
Like to your friend's point, for me, it's not even about like what fraction of the skate and the puck was over the blue. It's for me, it's offsides on a breakaway. Like to me, the circumstance matters. And in that point, it didn't really have any impact on the play because it was a breakaway. So I don't know how you can call offsides in that moment. But like you were saying with ABS, if we're gonna have the technology and we're gonna have challenges system, and technically by the rule it's off. It is. It's just it put them in a bad spot because they were out shooting Ottawa. They've been out shooting Ottawa the entire series. But the goal,
they were all over him, man. They came out with their horses hot. They're ready to they're ready to get it done and move on to the next round.
Yeah. So, but shout out to Anderson, the Hurricanes goalie. He stopped 37 of 39 shots for Carolina so far. He's
a very good goaltender.
He's sick. So anyway, yeah, go Canes. My Fugly, Bert, you knew this was coming.
It has to be, right?
You goddamn New York Mets. How could you do this to me? I don't understand how Harry Carey used to say, back in the day as I age myself. You can't win a World Series in April, but you can certainly lose it. And the Mets are doing that right now. They're in a spiral. Spiral is the most accurate word I could describe. 11-game losing streak. I believe they're winning right now, so they might snap it, but it's been the franchise's worst slump in over 20 years. You're sitting at 7-15, and the season that started with World Series aspirations is effectively over, Bert. It's not even May 1st. Mm-hmm. It's effectively over. It's like,
well, Soto's coming back, so there's hope.
I hear you, but here's the problem. Math is not on our side. I don't know if you know, Bert, baseball's been around for a long time. Like there's been a lot of baseball games played, a lot of seasons. Only 3 teams. I got this from a sports. It's like an analytics sports reference or baseball reference. 3 teams have made the playoffs, losing 11 plus games in a row. Now the 2017 Dodgers were the most recent team to do it, and they made it to the World Series. But before that was the 82 Braves and the 51 Giants. And no team has ever made the playoffs after losing 12 in a row. So the Mets are winning right now, I think. I lost the screen. I believe I saw Soto hit a 3-1 shot to put him up 3-0. So right before we...
good. He's finally earning his money.
Seriously. But the Mets odds to make the playoffs are only at 12%. And I know a lot of Mets fans are blaming Mendoza. I got to say, he's far from the only reason, but like the last Cubs game, pitching to Nico Horner with 1 out and a runner on third is like, there's just an unbelievable decision. He's one of the best hitters. Like you walk that dude and then you put Bush up there, who's been terrible this season. And I know Mets fans have been, 162 games, and every team has a nightmare 2-week stretch. And if they win 8 of their next 10, we're back in it, baby. We're right at 500. Knock it the fuck off. This season is over. O-V-A-H. Over.
3-3 right now, by the way.
That's ridiculous. It was 3-0 literally 20 minutes ago. And so,
top
like
the 6th, looks like a 2-run shot for the Twins.
Great.
And then a RBI single in the 7th.
Save us, Joe Girardi. Come to the Mets, Joe Girardi. Save us. Help us. This is fucking ridiculous, man. The Mets, I can't. The Mets are also heading quickly into Sixers territory where, like, I'm done. I don't want to see anybody hype this fucking team up again. And so
no hype.
I don't want no hype. Don't tell me about the season. Don't get excited by Josh Tong and these pitching prospects. I don't want to hear shit about any Mets propaganda until they start. When they got to make it to the World Series. I'm done. I don't care what happens. This team is fucking pissing me off, man. I can't stand the Mets. Can't stand the Met fan base. Oh, you gotta believe. Yeah, I believe that we're dog shit. That's what I believe. I believe that. Mm-hmm. Like I don't. Belief and feelings don't win baseball games. Okay, execution, discipline, playing well wins baseball games. I'm tired of believing. I believed in them for mad long. Like I'm tired of believing. I need some results now. I've done my part. I've believed all I could believe. Or below, whatever the right terminology is. I'm empty. Help me, Mets. Fuck.
Yeah. So quick correction on my Fugly, because I don't want to blame the Senators organization for that video because it was not them. However, it looks like some sort of super fan or super fandom, but yeah, not great. Still Fugly. Yeah. Still Fugly.
By association, it's your fan base. Yeah. You did it. Yeah. Like you inspired it. So yeah, you're still gonna get the Fugly, and you're fucking losing 2-0. So in the series.
Yeah, not a good look for them.
Speaking of not a good look,
well,
it depends on what side you're on this thing.
Yeah,
the New York Giants, your New York Giants,
making moves.
Traded away Dexter Lawrence. He was asking for some money. They felt like he wasn't worth
for money or a trade.
And
when conversation stopped on restructuring his contract 2 years after he just got a $90 million 4-year extension or something like that. He felt as though his value, despite the team's performance, was skyrocketing. And look, I'll give it to him, right? top 3 DT. He's, I mean, always in the conversation, maybe even the number 1 in the NFL. So he wanted more money and he wanted to restructure his contract. And the Giants were like, no, we're good. So look, there is a lot of conversation back and forth. And from what I've heard, that stalled. So that's when he asked for an out. However, 2 weeks ago, our new coach, John Harbaugh, came out and said, hey, I'm hopeful we can get something done. And then lo and behold, what was it, 2 days ago? The announcement's made that we're trading him for a 10th pick, 10th in the first round, which I don't hate.
Yeah.
I don't hate Germ. And here's why. Because now we have the 5 and the 10. And what we did, despite that, and I think it's because I've made peace with this at this point, which is why I'm so calm. Because at first I was like, you've got to be fucking kidding me. Like, this is absolutely insane.
Yeah.
But I mean, he just passed his physical, and I think he just got a $48 million 1 year.
Yep. Sure.
Yeah. So like, he's doing things, and look, the Bengals are betting on the immediate. Right. We saw this happen with the Rams not too long ago. This can really help before they get into basically a salary cap hell in the next couple of years, and their core, of course, contracts coming up. But we now have a 5 and 10. This is our opportunity to build for the future, and I think the calmness of both Joe Shine as well as Harbaugh is really settling with me, because there's obviously a vision and there's a path. Otherwise, I think they try to get this done as much as possible, and there's hope. So I'm not completely freaking out overall. I think having draft picks that continue to build upon whatever our new coach wants is going to be good. So we'll see. I mean, is it going to hurt us? I do believe so, defensively, without a doubt. But let's see who steps up to take its place. But I mean, if we're looking for a winner loser in this, I think the winner is always within the immediate. That's just my opinion. Like, I can't call you a winner on draft picks until those draft picks pay out. True. Plain and simple. So for me, if I'm looking for a winner, it's definitely the Bengals. They're adding an elite player to their squad. I'm not 1,000% upset as a Giants fan. I think there's hope in the future, but with Joe, hopefully a healthy Joe Burrow can get it done on one side of the field. You have sexy Dexy coming in to pick up the rest.
So, it's funny. I disagree. I think the Giants are a way bigger winner in this, because in a draft that's not strong on quarterback, you have two top 10 picks.
Yeah.
You have your quarterback if you believe in what you've seen from Jackson Dart. I think most Giants fans, including yourself, like him. Nobody's calling him like the next Josh Allen or Patrick Mahomes, but he's shown you enough that with the right things around him, he can win you games. So and also he's like he's like a star off the field in the making, right? He's a guy that you can sell tickets behind. So
and if he keeps playing smart football, especially with Harbaugh now, I honestly think quarterback development is now going to be consistent on one coach and one coach only, and this is who we have it right now. We can't do what we did with Daniel Jones, where every other year he's getting a new head coach. So we need consistency here, and he has shown enough where he's making some really good high football IQ plays. Where I'm putting my trust in him, so I'm hoping he gets it done right. Like most of us, at least just get us to the playoffs. I don't want to say we're Super Bowl contenders, but get us back in there.
Yeah, and I think when you look at a situation where you're going to have Cam Scatterboo back, which when he was there with Jackson Dart, it worked out pretty well. And then you're going to get Malik Neighbors
went the other direction. Yeah, and Neighbors coming back. We're working out OBJ, which I'll be honest with you, I'm not mad. Bring him home.
Low risk.
Why? Because exactly, low risk. He's got the ring. He's I think if he can come in, provide that other option for a young quarterback, maybe he wants to give back to the Giants. I'm here for it. Let's see how it pans out. And I think with the things that happened with Dexter Lawrence, he was obviously unhappy. He's been unhappy with the team's performance. He's unhappy he couldn't restructure his contract. All of his friends ended up leaving the team too, right? He was very close with Saquon. He left too, found success elsewhere. So I think this has been building and building and building. So he was looking for that out. So at least we got the high draft pick out of it.
The reason why I like this for the Giants and not the Bengals is like Dexter Lawrence has obviously built a resume, but he only had like half a sack last year. Like, you know what I mean? And you can get two blue chip prospects for the Giants and positions of need. And the Giants are banking that 2 young guys can produce similar to what Dexter Lawrence has provided. And for the Bengals, it's like you refuse to pay Trey Hendrickson, but you'll pay Dexter Lawrence and give up a top 10 pick for it. Like it's the Bengals do have a history of not investing in defensive players. So they've let countless defensive stars walk instead of contracting them. So it's honestly the main reason their defense has been a joke the last several years. But they gave him the new contract and cool, man. It's like it's a risk. It is a risk reward because Dexter Lawrence, like you said, he's great. He's been great. He's an all-pro, I should say. And he is in his prime, so I'll give him that. And it could have just been a bad year for the Giants. The Giants didn't have much to celebrate and kind of work hard for, but it's a massive gamble, like for both, I guess. But specifically for me, for the Bengals, because the Giants now have 2 top 10 picks that they can use to replace. So,
they're already looking. So at least what I've been reading, and we don't really watch a lot of college football here, but I've been reading up in terms of like who's going to go where, and it looks like we have a couple options, right? I see if we're going receiver, likely at the 10 spot, Jordan Tyson's there out of Arizona State. Sonny Styles, a lot of people are high on him from a linebacking standpoint, although a lot of people are saying his draft stock is kind of up and down depending. We can go offensive line with Francis. I think it's Mauigoa is how you say it too. Or we draft Caleb Downs. Solid safety option too. So we'll see.
Giants are definitely valuing draft capital over the culture, right? So you're trading the locker room leader in Dexter Lawrence, but I guess you can afford to.
Leader's not happy. We end up with shit like with what we saw with the Eagles last year too, right? It's true. Like everything's fine. You hear everything's not fine. So I think that's also too with like this whole Dexter Lawrence thing. It's like if he was truly unhappy, like man, then I don't want you on the team.
Yeah, but the reason why this is a good gamble is because you're replacing that with one of the greatest coaches of this generation who can kind of fill in that void until a new locker room leader steps up. And I think you have a locker room leader still. I think Jackson Dart, I think enough people in that locker room like the confidence of a young Jackson Dart. John Harbaugh is the coach to help him figure out the other part, right? To reel it in and not go too crazy, because you do need some of that controlled craziness, right? Like Josh Allen comes to mind with that stuff. Patrick Mahomes is like that, like some of that, like he knows what to say to the guys, but then be professional when the cameras are on or when they stick a microphone on his face. That's the part Jackson Dart needs help with, right? You can't just be total bro all the time. John Harbaugh will help him figure that out. He has the other stuff down. If your team is ride or die for you, that's a huge chunk of it. And I think Jackson Dart at a young age, early in his career, has that figured out. Cincinnati, this is kind of a win now move. You're sacrificing a top 10 pick. Again, Dexter Lawrence is a proven game changer. He did have a really bad year, but the Giants felt like, hey, we need to figure out the salary cap. We want to avoid overpaying for a veteran whose stats dipped a little bit last year. He's getting up there in age for a position. I think he's going to be 30 or he's 29. Or he's somewhere in that area in the 30-year range. So, do you want to pay $40 million for that? Like, I don't know. Like, it seems like the Giants, when you bring in John Harbaugh and you reset everything, you're trying to reset as much as you can. And I think, John Harbaugh is known for his defense. So I think he feels like he can get it done with a bunch of young guys. And I think that is important if you're a brand new coach, especially an older coach. You don't want a bunch of veterans that are stuck in their ways. You want to kind of mold it from scratch from the beginning and kind of do it your way. So this move makes a lot of sense for the Giants. I get the shock of it because the Giants aren't used to having great players, specifically recently. Obviously, the franchise has had great players. I'm talking about recently in this kind of new iteration. And it's hard to let it go because when you're bad, the least you can hang your hat on the fact that you have great players, and it's hard to let those guys kind of go. Trust me, I'm a Mets fan. We went through a whole offseason of that. And
not in the so distant past we saw Saquon Barkley walk to a division rival because the Giants were like, no, we're good. And in the backlash that came from that. But look, again, as a fan of that man personally, I'm happy he got a ring. I'm just very unhappy it happened to be with the Eagles. So it's just, for sure. It's painful. So, we could watch yet another top rated player in their position end up going somewhere and actually competing for a championship, which is, I mean, look, if that works and the system's great for Dexter Lawrence, but for us, I mean, we're hoping this draft capital pays off. So we'll see.
Funny you bring up the Eagles, because
it's always funny when I bring up the Eagles for you.
I know, because I sure love the comeuppance. I
You
sure
do.
love vindication for people, especially in the midst of controversy, right?
Yeah.
Like when the chips are down and you have 100 people shouting at you that you're wrong, and you just know you're right, and you have the gall and the balls and the fortitude to shout back no. And that's, I mean, all season we've heard about the contention in the locker room for the Philadelphia Eagles, and Eagles fans brushed it off as if people are just deciding to pick on Jalen Hurts or pick on the team because they won a Super Bowl. Like they're the only team that's ever won a Super Bowl before. Like they're the only team that has gone through similar things. And then you have Dianna Russini, who up until recently, a very highly regarded reporter, reporting that AJ Brown, who again, she didn't make up that AJ Brown wasn't happy with the Eagles. That was obvious just by you don't even need anybody to report that. You could see it. He said it. He said, "Hey, Jalen Hurts, this offense, whatever this is happening, is different from our Super Bowl year. The difference is we're not executing. Executing is not play calling. Executing is players on the field." He wasn't talking about the offensive coordinator, Eagles fans. He was talking about the quarterback, and everybody knows it, except you for some reason. So then, AJ Brown to the Patriots. Dianna Russini is saying this. A couple other people have been saying this. Patriots obviously have reported on themselves that they probably need to add a number one wide receiver. AJ Brown's unhappy in Philly. He makes sense. He wasn't the only one named, but then you have the Sedona scandal with Dianna Russini and Vrabel put out some weak, I don't even call it an apology, an explanation, an excuse today. Basically saying I got to be better. Whatever. We know what it is, man. Like I get it. I don't even care if he said anything publicly. I don't think it's an
explanation or an excuse. I just think it's it was one of those things where everybody knows, and he's like, it is.
He had to acknowledge it, right?
Be a distracting. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, he had to because he was avoiding it, right? I mean, we talked about this last week. He hasn't said shit, and his excuse was, I wanted to talk to the players first. I wanted to talk to my family, which, get your house in order in both areas. That's fine. But no, it was neither excuse nor explanation. It was no more distractions. Let's move on. And I got to be honest with you, I appreciate the shit out of that. Don't give these savages anything to write about to distract from what is on the table, which is the draft coming up. Plain and simple.
I mean, and listen, that being said, the Philadelphia Eagles fans owe Dianna Russini a huge apology.
100%. Yeah. They need to take out a section like the Philadelphia Inquirer, and it just needs to say, "I'm sorry."
I seen one big Philly guy say that Dianna Russini should be apologizing because, he took it as Vrabel acknowledging all of the stuff that she was making up. She wasn't making it up. That smoke she reported for months, the smoke that you guys are calling it, is I guess it's a wildfire because now it's real because Schefter reported it. And I was like, even if you think that she was trying to sabotage the Eagles, which is ridiculous in itself.
Why would she need this is what makes me laugh about people who think this is like, why does she need to do that?
She doesn't need to do that. The reporting to me is more sound because of her relationship with Mike Vrabel. I was like, but you didn't need that to know that the Patriots would be one of the teams interested in AJ Brown if he was to become available, just like the Bills, just like the Chargers, just like a bunch of other teams that needed based on last year, could use a number one wide receiver. So, reports indicated that the Eagles were open to trading AJ Brown to the Patriots with a deal likely finalized after June 1st. Which makes sense. So they could save
$30 million in cap hit,
right? Because if they traded or cut him before June 1st, they would owe him $70 million or a little more than $70 million. After June 1st,
yes, right. Over the next 2 years. Afterwards, I think it's just like $16 million a year or something.
I think it's 40 or a little under 40 for the rest of the contract. Before
Brown was traded before June 1st, the Eagles would absorb a salary cap hit of $43.4 million.
Okay.
The trade after would count 16.3 against the
Okay. There you go.
2026 salary cap. Because basically, well, I guess, yeah, because it would only be 16 because the Eagles could split the cap hit over 2 seasons.
Okay, so yeah, splitting a $40 million dead cap over
Yep.
2 seasons is a lot more digestible than
Yeah.
doing it before. So, yeah. Either way, Russini was ridiculed by Philly media all over the place for reporting Brown's unhappiness and his friction with Jalen Hurts, and all this does is confirm she was right. Like so Eagles fans demanding her to apologize to them for causing the drama soap opera in Philly.
Trash.
You guys are trash. That is some trash shit. If anything, again, it validates all her reporting, all of it, because again, you didn't need Dianna Russini or Adam Schefter or Bert or Germ to tell you that something was going on with the Eagles last season. We saw it, and the Eagles front office allowed it to happen because they, in some form or fashion, agreed with Jaylen Brown or AJ Brown over the Jalen Hurts stuff. Like all of their messaging, all of their actions, even if they didn't have to say anything directly, showed that we have an issue. There's a disconnect between the players, the quarterback, and the coaching staff. I'm not going to put it all on Jalen Hurts. There is an issue with all of it. And to sit there and act like Dianna Russini was just making it up because her side piece wants AJ Brown in a trade in the offseason is ridiculous. I don't know. It's AJ Brown is great. I think he's a great player. I think when he's right, he's a top 5 wide receiver in the league. But, I think you have to trust reporting. Like most insiders often see cracks in the locker room before the fans do because they're there. She just leveraged her relationship with Mike Vrabel to get more information, which is the information we all want anyway. So to me, I don't even care how she gets it. Hey, is it a scumbag thing that they're both married and they did this? Sure. But like, whatever, man. Like that's their business. I care about the professional part of it. Like, if people are going to sleep with her or she's going to flirt with people or whatever the case is, and this isn't mutually exclusive to her. I'm talking about any reporter, girl on guy, guy on girl, guy on guy, girl on girl, however you do it, man. Like it's whatever. That's your business. But it wasn't like the Eagles fans were trying to make it seem like she was fabricating the story, and that is completely false. And so, yeah, I think all of this helps her. I don't know if her career was over before this. It probably looked that way. But in terms of NFL inside reporting, but I think this helps her out, kind of get back into that stratosphere in terms of being an NFL insider. I don't know what you think about that.
Yeah, well, I mean, like I said before, it is nothing but vindication, 100%. And look, we discussed last week. I didn't think there needed to be any ramifications on either side of any of this, right? It's
right.
It's one of those things where I do hope she gets a second chance, if we want to call it that. Not even that, because I don't think she should have lost her shit. I just hope that she returns, because this just goes to show that she knows her shit clearly and has been for her illustrious career as it was. But the timing could not have been better, right? This breaks by Schefter. You have the head coach saying he's got to do better and there's no distractions moving forward without, denying any wrongdoing whatsoever. So if anything, I mean, it is at the very least and most true vindication, where she can just be like, okay, yeah, your move, world. Like, what's up? Like, it's, for me, it's 100%. Like everything that you said in a nutshell. And I know you love shitting on the Eagles. And I think you're right. I think it's just one of those where all their fandom needs to offer a apology, especially look, come June 1, if this definitely goes through, I mean, yeah, you can point to it back months prior and say, hey, listen, this, where there's smoke, there's fire, and this is what we got.
It'll also be interesting, because then the narrative will be shaping that they chose Jalen Hurts over AJ Brown, which I guess you could make that argument. I think it's harder to get rid of a franchise quarterback than it is a receiver. But this is putting Jalen Hurts, in my opinion, in a really tough spot, because you lose one of the best receivers in the league and you're telling them that AJ Brown was the problem. And I think it has more to do with AJ Brown's contract than anything else. That if Jalen Hurts doesn't return to Super Bowl MVP form and lead this team, because in my opinion, he's never led this team in a high prolific offense.
Mhm.
He's played well. To me, like, again, never said Jalen Hurts was trash. I just said he's a system quarterback. It's the Eagles fans that have tried to elevate him higher than
Mhm.
he deserves to be. And I think if Brown is traded for them, it'll confirm that the significant rift between him and Hurts, uh, again, points back to Russini's initial reporting that there was a problem and that there's seems to be a solution in terms of trading. So, yeah, I hopefully, hopefully it all works out, because even then, even without the soap opera stuff, it's going to be a good trade. Like, the Patriots will get a number one receiver. The Eagles will, get some draft capital back and try to retool and things of that nature. So, I know we're talking about the juicy stuff, but the meat and potatoes really is that this would actually be a pretty decent trade depending on how it all shakes out. Like, I could see a scenario where the Eagles draft a wide receiver and then tell him, "Hey, we're drafting you, but you're going to New England." I'm sorry, New England drafts a wide receiver and tells him, "Hey, man, put on the hat and shake the hands, but you're going to New England, or you're going to Philly in this trade." So I think that's what it's going to be. All right, Bert, do you have a game ball you would like to give out?
Man, if this comes through, then hell yeah, Mike Tomlin. Did you see that breaking? That rumors that he's to join the NFL pregame show on NBC.
Yeah,
fantastic.
That's nice. Yeah,
that's great. I mean, we've talked about this, like whether or not he would land somewhere coaching, but I think I would love to see and hear him and his views on all things football. I mean, you're not a multiple 10-year successful coach of being over 500 of one of the most historic franchises in the NFL without having the best football brain ever. And I want that in my TV every single week. Like, I'm so looking forward to this if this all goes through.
Yeah. Once I saw that he was leaning towards taking a break from coaching for at least a year, I figured he was going to go straight to TV. Like, and he's going to be really good at it. He's entertaining. His sound bites are great. I cannot wait for him to get on there. I'm just glad he's not going to ESPN, because I don't know if I can deal with him and Stephen A. Smith. But NBC is going to be a pretty good. NBC is going to have, he'll do Monday Night Football, so he'll have a lax. I'm pretty sure scheduling had a lot to do with that. Like, he's gonna do all the night games and the primetime stuff. It'll be nice to see him and Dungy get together and talk. So that'll be cool. So I can't wait. I can't wait for him. And see what he does. My game ball is going to Los Angeles Lakers role player Luke Kennard, Duke legend Luke Kennard, who stepped up in Game 1 against the Rockets. He had a career high, playoff high of 27 points, shooting perfect, 5 for 5 from the 3-point range, and winning that game while a couple of guys, Luka was out, stepping up for Luka Doncic, who supposedly is going to be back. Maybe not Game 2 tonight or tomorrow night, but Game 3 in a couple of days. So we'll see how that goes. So shout out to Luke Kennard, man. Like, every once in a while, the others need a little shine, and it's nice, like, when you're a role player or you're not a star player and you can step up in a big spot and kind of come through for the team. That's always a good thing. So shout out to him.
That's what you need in the playoffs.
100%. Like that, and that's the thing. Like, a lot of these sports are built on stars, right? And that's great. Like, you need stars to play well, you need stars to come through, but you need the other guys too for once in a while, maybe for a game or two, to step up. The backup quarterbacks, the Gardner Minshew's of the world, right? Hey, we need you to win like 3 games for us for the next 5 weeks and just keep this thing going. And if you can do that, hey, this is, you'll always have a job. So shout out to them. Please like and subscribe to the Give Us a Shot Network YouTube. You'll find us, JT and the Don, The Divide, Mike and Corey. Whenever there's a blood moon out, you'll probably see them. I don't know. I have no idea. I have no idea. When's the next parade? It seems like that's the only time they do a show.
They only do parades, actually.
They only do parades, yeah.
Hoda and Savannah at this point.
Yeah, for sure. They'll be drinking chai tea here pretty soon.
That's what it takes. Fun. I'll stock the studio with chai tea.
I'll stock the Get rid of that Presidente and bring some chai tea from Dunkin' Donuts to Mike's house, and maybe we'll get some consistent Divide episodes there. Big Mike going to WrestleMania, like shit. Like, I mean, I don't blame him.
The dream,
life. Yeah. So shout out to Mike. Shout out. Yeah, please like and subscribe. Visit us. Give us a shot.network. You'll catch Zach Clayton. He does good stuff for us. JT and the Don, Mike and Corey and them. So. Yeah, Bert, anything else you got for the people?
No, I
Hey,
don't.
we will see you next week. Draft is in like 2 days. What is
Yeah.
it, Thursday? So me and Bert will
Thursday
probably
night.
be reacting to that. Maybe I'll try to peel JT and the Don. They're big in college football.
Would that be cool?
And, yeah, see if they can give us some insight. Like I know who I'm targeting for the Bills, so we'll see. But yeah, we'll talk about it. We'll see what the Giants do with those 2 top 10 draft picks, and hopefully Bert won't crash out. And maybe we'll get Bert to do the sexy Dexy dance if the Giants draft well on this next episode.
Yeah.
Can't wait. Find out more next week.